It's Al Corbett, Managing Director of Australian Craftwood. We've got a sawmill in Manjimup where we're struggling to get third grade logs, have done for the last 3 years, and so it inspired me to go looking to see what is occurring in the field, and it's no wonder that the gates were locked down the front, because behind me is a load, there's about 2 road trains, 100 tonne of what I would say was second grade and first grade logs by the regulations, and they've been marked down to third grade. There's a couple of reasons for that, and I guess we need to go back to DEC and look at their management and how that disseminates down the line to where we're standing here in the field. So DEC actually are the regulating body who manage the resource, the state forest, and from there they left ball it across to FPC to do the harvesting, and so therefore they've abrogated their responsibilities in doing so, and FPC is charged with administering perhaps the biggest supply chain in Western Australia. So sitting above the FPC are what is known as the commissioners. Now these are a range of private people. One probably lives beside you in Perth, but be that as it may, their role is to oversee the FPC affairs, one of which is their harvesting and a range of other commercial operations that they've got. But what we're trying to demonstrate here to the public is that they've actually dropped the baton, and I'm referring to the Board of Commissioners. Their role is somewhat opaque in that nobody ever sees them. They're faceless people, and that is unless you're going to a function in Perth. But down here in the field we don't have any interface with these commissioners. So the commissioners command the general manager, who recently resigned. It was Dr. Paul Biggs, and I can probably sympathise with him for resigning, having had some experience in this industry over the last 5 years. I come from Queensland. Originally we were on Fraser Island, and after we'd finished there over 100 years of logging, it was good enough to put into World Heritage. And so it, as I said, it inspired me to start looking into the background of the chain of command within this huge supply chain. So the FPC let out contracts to the contractor, and in this case it's Juvenetti's from Bunbury, and I've got to say they've done a marvellous job here. As I'll show you, the canopy of the forest's pretty much still intact. So I don't have any beef with the contractor. He has done precisely what his contract is required to do. Where I do have problems is the administration between the general manager and his foresters. Underneath him he's got a whole range of foresters and we've got zones and districts that each one of those have a different forester in charge. And in the Nanup zone, I'm not sure who it is, but in Manjimup zone it's Mark Reed. So, and I do think Mark's overall portfolio covers this area here, and we've had a long-running dispute with him about singling our company out and continually delivering very low quality wood and charging us very high quality prices. Now these logs that I'm going to show you the end value of shortly are being delivered to Nanup. Now coincidentally they should not be cut to a certain length, but sleight of the hand here by the FPC officers, they allowed the contractor, or they instructed the contractor to cut these to a length for a specific reason, and that reason was to cut railway sleepers, because under their current act you can't cut a railway sleeper out of anything lower above a third grade log. So you've got a high grade, which is first grade, second grade, and obviously a third grade, which is basically industrial timbers and so on. And that's basically what my mill was constructed for. We built a brand new mill to the tune of 8.2 million, I think it is, we've spent so far, and we've probably lost another 3 million since we've been here. But having said all that, and turning back to the core problem, what we've got here is we've got a biased regime within the FPC that favours certain mills and then elects to disadvantage other mills. Now, our industry, meaning the sawmill industry and the timber industry indeed, have a body called FIFLA, Forest and Forest Industries Association, Western Australia. And the general manager there is Bob Pearce. And over the last 2 or 3 months, Bob has been extremely proactive in getting a whole range of mills which he knows do not have the legal capacity to cut sleepers. But nonetheless, he engineered those mills to get in with Westnet Rail to supply 250,000 sleepers over the next 18 months. And I challenged Mark Reed at an industry meeting which was convened by Westnet Rail in Bunbury. And I asked, Mark got up and said that he had identified, or FPC had identified, coops capable of producing this enormous volume of sleepers. It's 12.5 million bucks worth on a lazy day. And I got up and I said to Mark, you must be delusional to think that you could cut that volume of sleepers out of low-grade logs. He says, well, we've got the wood. Well, now I want to show you the wood, because here it is, and what they've actually done, slip of the hand, as I said, they downgrade a first and second grade log to that of a third grade. Now that third grade log landed in Nannup would probably be costing about 51 to 52 bucks delivered. Whereas if it was graded to its correct standard, a first grade log would be over $100, probably thereabouts for a first grade log out of here. A second grade log would be somewhere mid-range, low 70s, and obviously third grade. And to the left of me here there is firewood, which is actually what it says it is. It's for domestic consumption in and around Perth. So we'll do a bit of a film on the end value of these logs, and I have with me a copy of the FPC specification. I just wanted to demonstrate the extent of fraud, which I'm now calling it. And I mean, if you had a person that stole a car from a government compound, sure as all heck he's going to go to jail. We've got police that look after that. But yet you can steal the grades of wood here and nobody even turns a blind eye. In fact, our police, meaning our foresters, never even come to inspect it. So whether it's a brown paper bag that's passing hands here, whether it's a sleight of the hand or the old mates club, one would not know. But I sure as hell have a lot of problem with my conscience as a sawmiller and a conservationist, I've got to say, because the forest should not be in any worse condition after having put a logging regime through it than it was before we got here. In other words, it should still have a canopy and it should still be allowed to regenerate for our kids and our grandkids. And I guess the minister, I don't have any beef with the minister. What actually has happened, Minister Redmond, Terry Redmond, actually inherited an endemic or systemic wave of covert activities well below his ability to even know about it. He would not know about this, but I'm hopeful that somebody somewhere will at least portray to him. It's quite difficult for me because I'm a sawmiller, Sure as all hell, someone's going to come along and try and cap me or whatever. But as I said, I have trouble with my conscience. I'd rather not be in this industry if this is what I've got to participate in, and I would hope that the government of the day, meaning the current government, might attempt to, if we reveal it, attempt to rectify the wrongs and get this thing sorted out, or alternatively get the hell out of it. We shouldn't be here if this is the best we can do. If we've got to thieve grades of wood to comply with a bloody railway sleeper order, then I don't want to be in it. Anyway, that's for the politicians, not for me. I'm just a sawmiller out there trying to keep the dream alive.